Hi, all. This is Dr. J at 11, streaming to you live, coming to you live from Long Island, New York, where the weather has turned slightly rainy, but it was a beautiful day earlier today. The Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P did not synchronize with the beautiful weather in and around the Wall Street area, as they were Dow down about 300%, the Nasdaq down about 2%. And the general market was a sea of red. As I looked down stocks that I own, I saw almost nothing but red. I saw an occasional green biotech stock that I own, and I got a little excited about that, but nothing too much. I did a little vlog. I got so excited. A midday vlog on OncoSec Medical. But we're talking about the FAANG, the FAANG, and why I like a couple of them for short-term trades tomorrow, and what my opinion is on the FAANG going forward, what my opinion is on the market going forward. We're going to look at the charts. Before that, I want to remind you to do your own due diligence, that my opinions are my own and do not constitute investment advice. Occasionally, Dr. J has good ideas. If you want to follow them, do so at your own risk. I'm going to share screen. It may take a little longer than usual since my internet provider is not doing his job properly lately. So my computer has been slow on the internet, so instead of taking 3 seconds to share a screen, it might take 5. No, I think it did it pretty quick. I would say 3 seconds. Okay, so now let's go and start with the Nasdaq. I did click on that, didn't I? Oh, yeah, there it goes. And that loaded pretty quick. Okay, so the Nasdaq was in what I call the Zoom channel over a lot of months this year, as it made new high after new high after new high. It stepped down to a lower channel, but it eventually made new high again, not that long ago, and yet another new high, a slightly higher high on the 1st of October. These two highs taken together, you could be are considered a double top. So we have to be a little bit careful about double tops. They always get me nervous. So until I see a breakout of that, I think we may have some weakness on the downside for the Nasdaq over the short term. Well, nothing terrible. I mean, we have support at 7,400. We have more support at 7,300. And we have some more support at around 71.85, something like that. So there's a lot of support underneath. If we give back a couple of 100 points, it's not too big a deal. Of course, it's possible that we will not test this 7,400 level, and we'll just bounce right back into the new highs at about 79.03, whatever that is. 75, no, that's not right. What is this? New high was 7,700. So I think we could go back to that 7,700 level very easily, or test the 7,400 level. It's unclear right now. My gut feeling is that we will test one more time at least the 7,400 level. That should hold, and if it does, we come right back up, test that 7,700, and if that doesn't give, we'll be testing and knocking on the door of 7,400 again. So I think we found a trading range between 7,700 and 7,400 until the Nasdaq itself tells us which way it's going. All right, so I'm not going to dwell on the Nasdaq 100 as a whole, but it's been fine. Let me just say one more thing. It's been finding support at its 50-day moving average. It found support again at the close. It closed right on the 50-day. So maybe we've seen the 2-day downtick, and it comes right back. Maybe. All right. Let's look at Facebook. We'll go from right to left. Facebook had a kind of a horrible chart, but it's solidifying here, I think. After the gap down, it had a horrible, scary pattern of 3, and that took us down to the level of 160. And now we've broken that level. So we're testing support line right here. We closed that support, which is about 155. That's right about support. So the question is, does it go down to the 150 level, or does it stay in this triangle area and bounce back and forth until it breaks out to the top? One of those two scenarios happen, and tomorrow will tell us. Because if it makes a clean break of 158, it's going to 150. On the other hand, if it finds support here, it's going back up to this level about 166. And then it may come back again before it finally breaks out to the upside. So I like scenario number 2 better, with it breaking out to the upside. That's where I'm at. That's where my head is at. I'm discounting this ominous 3 black crows. Wish me luck. Apple has been the beast of the FAANGs. It's been my favorite FAANG. I loved it on the long side last Monday, saying buy at the open, and sure enough, it would have been a really good swing trade. Probably a good buy and hold trade, because Apple is Apple. It just seems to go one way. All right, so what is Apple doing? It's trading well above its 50-day. However, when you get one big red candle at the end of a long uptrend, scary. I don't like those one big red candle formations. I know it's not a complex formation, but to me it's a scary formation. Oftentimes it comes back down to the 10-day low after that, which would be around 215, or maybe this low of 216.63. So I don't like shorting stocks, but if you're that kind of trader, you might want to buy short at the open with a take profit at this low here. What is that? I just said a 216 or something. It's 217. And where would you put a stop loss? I would put it right at the all-time high from the day before. And that would be 234. So that would be the stop loss. And the 217 would be the take profit. Good luck to you if you make that. Not sure that I certainly am not going to make that trade, but it's an idea for a trade. Amazon. Amazon has a perfect setup to go long for a swing trade. I'm tempted to do it, but I don't think I will. I'm a little short on funds right now. So I probably am not in a swing trading kind of mood. I'm in a buy and hold kind of mood on certain little biotechs that I like the story of. Meanwhile, while Amazon is loading, let me tell you why I like it. I like it because Amazon has a very, very long trend line. And today, guess where it found support? That's right, exactly on the trend line. And you can see that right here. So therefore, considering the many touches it's had of this trend line, going back quite a ways, even further back, if I could get it to slide, but it's made many, many touches of this trend line, and it just made another one. So my guess is it's likely to bounce off that trend line, take out this high, take out that high. I just like Amazon. What could I tell you? It's a tremendous stock. It adheres to the trend line. Okay, so for a short-term swing trade, I would be buying Amazon right here, right here. Slide. This chart is not cooperating. There we go. All right, so it was down 2.22%, about what the Nasdaq was down, I think. All right, so this looks like a good buy to me. And again, you might say, but Dr. J, look, 3 black crows. You're right. If that scares you, go short. All right, Netflix. I'm a big believer in simple trend lines. If you can draw a line, all you need is a ruler and a pencil. Draw a line on a chart. I think it's better than any pattern. 3 black crows, 3 white soldiers, head and shoulders, cup and handles. I find those patterns work about half of the times. I published an article in Stocks and Commodities magazine on an empirical study of the engulfing candle. And guess what? Yeah, you could eke out a small profit, but it's not worth the effort. Okay. Netflix. Well, it also has stopped right on its trend line. So you could make an argument for a short-term swing trade, going long on Netflix as well. And Netflix also has this 3 black crow candle setup way back here, and look how well it's done despite that. So the three black crows don't frighten me too much, especially since it's never textbook. In other words, they may be 3 red candlesticks, but to really be 3 black crows, you need certain constraints on the ratio of the body to the wicks. You need length constraints. It's a very rare pattern, indeed, if you follow all the constraints. And you can look it up in any textbook on patterns, that it's a winning pattern to go short the 3 black crows or to go long the 3 white soldiers. But go find that pattern. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack once you satisfy all those constraints. Alphabet, and we're done. Alphabet. Just going to take, could I sing for ABCs before this thing loads? I don't want to do that. But let me just say Alphabet is one of my all-time favorite stocks. I love Google. I'm a big Google fan from day one. So what I have to say has nothing to do with holding it long term, but the chart short term doesn't look too appealing. So if it ever comes on, I'll go through why it doesn't look too appealing. And Verizon is going to hear from me with a telephone call. I shouldn't have said the name. My internet provider, I was just kidding. It wasn't. All right, so I'm going to count to 3. If I don't get the picture by then, I'm going to call it a night. There you go. I didn't even have to count to 3. Okay, so you see that we made another touch of this trend line, this downward trend line. We have another downward trend line in parallel to that. So we're in a down channel. Plain and simple, we're in a down channel. If you like buying stocks in a down channel, be my guest. But this looks pretty safe for a while. We made a lower high here. Well, we made a lower high here and then a slightly higher high, but lower than the all-time high. We made another lower high here. And if we keep hitting this downward trend line, that's not good. So at this point in time, I'm not a believer, even though I love Alphabet. I think it's got some more to give back. If it breaks this low of 1149, I might sell it and try to buy it back cheaper. These are just ideas that I have. You know, you could follow them or not. Use your own judgment. Do your own due diligence. I'm going to stop screen sharing so I can say sayonara to you, so I can say it's been a pleasure chatting, so I can say I hope that you have some prosperous trading, so I can say goodbye. I hope my camera comes at some point. I feel good about. And meanwhile, please subscribe to the channel. Please write comments other than about my internet provider. What else? Yeah, share this link and like us. And keep following Dr. J. Dr. J sometimes has interesting ideas. And all the ideas are my own. All my opinions are my own, just like I said at the beginning. So you get a different perspective, perhaps, than you get from other analysts who seem to follow the crowd. I don't necessarily follow the crowd. And that could be refreshing or not. Maybe you're a crowd follower, in which case probably shouldn't follow my kind of pretty picture, I guess. Long Island, New York, and I'm going to stop right here. See you all in a couple of days when I give you my next FAANG update. Meanwhile, watch for my biotech updates. If you subscribe, you'll get them all.